the Board of Education meeting. If you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. This is to advise those present at this meeting, the Board of Education of the Pinelands Regional School District in the County of Ocean, that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high school, and high school buildings. The notice was also mailed to the press of Atlantic City and filed with the municipal clerks of Bass River, Eagleswood, and Little and Carver Township, and the Borough of Tuckerton.
Our roll call for tonight's meeting, Mr. Bartlett,
Here.
Miss Betty. Hey, James, how do we get the virtual participant? Okay.
Should have logged back on.
I'm going to call her.
Yeah. Well, Miss Betty will temporarily be marked absent. Miss Fagan will be marked absent. Miss Hannadel.
Here.
Miss Martin.
Here.
Mr. Rossetti.
Here.
Miss Zimmerman.
Here.
Mr. Dalio.
Here.
Miss McVeigh.
Here.
We're in session.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 5, approval of minutes. We need a motion to approve the following minutes. Open session, regular session, April 26th, closed session, April 26th.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
All in favor of approving the minutes on this evening's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? That motion carries.
Moving on to item number 6, report of the superintendent. I'll give you Dr. McCauley.
Thank you. I have a few things this evening. First and foremost for the board, I did share a folder with you and some documentation. I also put together a video, a vidyard of my miracle completion. Are there any questions about any of those documents? Okay. I would like to play our second Here to Help video. It's fairly short. If you could just direct your attention either to the screen in the back or the one behind me. My name is Sarah Abatello, and I am the coordinator for the Student Ambassadors program. We created a Student Ambassador program here to help facilitate a connection between our underclassmen and our upperclassmen to assist with the transition between the junior high school and the high school.
Coming to the high school can be a really scary thing with the new building and the new teachers, but the student ambassadors make it really easy.
Usually the freshmen are terrified of the upperclassmen, so it's our job as juniors and seniors to make them comfortable, at least with us in the summer before school started, and get them used to the school because they didn't know anything about it and they didn't know anyone or any of the teachers.
It started in orientation in the summer. That was really cool because they showed me around the building and showed me where my locker was, and I knew who they were on the first day of school. Having familiar faces when you get to the high school makes it a lot less scary on the first day.
Our ambassadors are responsible for meeting with their underclassmen once a month. So they do that during their mentorship period.
We meet with the freshmen during their mentoring period. It's once a month, and we just check in with them, see how school's going, if they need any help with anything. It opens a lot of opportunities to ask questions about what happens in the future of high school and outside of school.
I could go to them for advice about anything, and it's really easy and good to have somebody to talk to.
One of the best parts for me was getting to know all the upperclassmen and making more friends in the school.
It definitely opens a lot of doors to knowing the kids in your school. Not every freshman has an older sibling or someone who went through school already to guide them and help them. So being an older sister to the freshmen is a really good experience.
The student ambassadors were a huge help to me this year.
They can help us with anything. They're kind of like an older sibling.
Student ambassadors are here to help.
We're here to help. We're here to help.
Great job with that. It's a wonderful program. And as I said, we're going to continue highlighting all of the great programs and resources that we have here at Pinelands for families. So more to come. A newsletter was sent out recently from me to all families and the board. Hang on to that through the end of the school year. There's a lot of important dates and events happening. If you want to attend something, just let us know. We'd love to have you. We are in the process of doing I believe it's our 7th annual summer heat in Little Lake Harbor in the summer. And basically what it is, it's free professional development to any teacher, staff member in the surrounding area. In many of the cases, our administrative team does perform the workshops, but we've also had outside vendors come in. And as I said, it's completely free to anyone that would like to attend. So I will remind the board again in the summer, and if you want to attend any of those, I believe Mr. Brown and Mr. Yates did a great one on financial planning. It's always well attended. So those are open to the public as well. Just clarifying something, I know that there's been some question. We recently have selected a director of special services. Please note, we went through a very rigorous process to select this person. There were 2 rounds of interviews with 2 separate committees. We are getting a rock star, and we're very happy about that. I'm going to be sending the board a link to some updates on our sporting teams. They're doing amazing. I don't want to take the time tonight just because I'm not sure how the weather is going to turn. Right now it's beautiful out, but I'm going to send you a Google Doc that Mr. Sunderman put together, just an update on all of our sports, and they're doing such a great job. And then lastly, I just want to thank the board for all your support. We had a very successful school year. Not that it's over yet, but we're coming to a close. And once again, I'm so excited that Pinelands is now ranked 4 in the county, according to US News. And we are continue to implement wonderful things for our students and keep moving up. So thank you for everything. That's all I have.
All righty, moving on to item number 7, presentations. Assistant Superintendent report, Gina.
Just some brief highlights. Again, a quick overview because the weather is coming, so hopefully we can get through this. I don't know what I'm clicking. All right, here we go. Number 4 in the county, yes. Did I do that? So number 4 in the county, we're really, really proud of that. So just on the bottom of the slide, some of the criteria that got us to number 4, right behind Point Pleasant Beach, Mates, and Point Pleasant Borough. They look at our college readiness, state assessments for how our underserved population does, college curriculum breadth, and graduation rate. So that's how we got to that number 4. So that's one great stat. I don't know what I'm pressing here. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. This is too complicated, Mr. Bond. That's it? Okay. Thank you. One of the biggest reasons that we're doing well in the county is because of our advanced placement program. And I know that you've seen me present about this in the past. This year, we had 13 or 14 exams that we gave over the last 2 weeks. I know Mrs. Kenny, thank you, Mrs. Kenny and her team. She's not here tonight, but they did an amazing job giving those exams over the past couple of weeks, and they are doing makeup testing right now. We added computer science to our list this year, and European history is running next year, so we're really happy about that, bringing that one back. But as you can see, we have a very rigorous program with our AP. I believe we're top in the county with our AP. how many students actually take the courses and take the exams. So you can see on the back screen, for 2022, we had 184 students, 408 exams, and we are very inclusive with our AP program. So many students have accommodations. So you can see 8 of those exams had accommodations. So for 26 students. So again, we are very open access with our AP program. And that is one of the reasons that we are doing so well with that. And I'm going to share this slide. This came from our district performance report. Our SAT average for ELA was 550. The benchmark to get points in that area is 480. So we way exceeded that. So 78% of our students that took the SAT met and exceeded that benchmark. And in math, we were 525 for our average, and the benchmark is 530. So that is an area that we are looking to improve upon. For any parents that are listening that have students in either sophomores, juniors, or rising seniors, we will have SAT prep this summer as part of our academy. Usually you have to pay for those kind of services. So we're setting up some SAT prep this summer. So please take advantage, especially for the mathematics. So look for that. That is forthcoming. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. DeMauro to tell us all about our Linkit scores.
All right, good evening, everyone. So we just finished giving the Linkit benchmark, which is a benchmark that our students take 3 times a year, once in the fall, once in the winter, and then again in the spring. Really designed for us to show growth and identify trends and standards that our teachers can use to be intentional in the classroom. And the last few months, our teachers have done such an incredible job at working together collaboratively to really dig deep and identify what's going well, looking at item analysis to use in their instruction and in their assessments with their students. And if you could see up here, the growth that we've seen with our teachers using the data and working collaboratively and including the students and everything there is on the left is what the students have done and the teachers have done to make this happen. And we could see the average score compared to what we did from the fall to the winter to the spring. The average score in the entire district went up 18%. And the amount of students that were meeting the standards for their subject, for their class at that point, went up 21%. So that's a direct reflection on the teachers working together, celebrating growth with the students, and really shifting the mindset of this test doesn't matter to, this test is going to help us in our instruction. This test is going to help us show what you've learned. And that last one in there, I know I just mentioned it, but celebrating growth. And you can see this is Mrs. Luna and Mrs. Johnson's class. They had all the students that showed growth in this period hold up a sign that says how many percentage points they went up, bought donuts for their students. And we're going to do some things once we get all the official data back and celebrate those classes. So celebrate the Algebra 2 class with the most growth. We're going to celebrate the English 1 class that made the most growth. So really celebrating the successes that our students are kind of doing in the classroom. And a couple of highlights in junior high, we reduced students from the beginning of the year who were considered struggling by an average of 58%. And a lot of the math teachers did a great job. I got to work with them to really analyze the data and help them make decisions using that into their classroom. Across the entire district, ELA, over 50% of students are meeting the standards. And this is a predictive measure for the NJ SLA testing. So we're in a good spot there. And last but not least, high school math department shrunk the amount of students that were considered at risk by 24% from the beginning of the year. So between the Summer Math Academy and the opportunities we're offering to the students, we're hoping to keep the trend moving in the right direction and supporting our students. I have a quote from our student up there from a freshman English class. My teachers pushed me, encouraged me, and I paid attention to my work. We went through the skills and reviewed test strategies. So really focusing on including this information in the instruction and helping the students grow. And then I'm not going to read this whole quote, but it is from 2 junior high teachers that really talked about the process and giving this assessment and using the data intentionally and being intentional about what they were doing in the classroom. And it was really great to see how their hard work paid off and the students showed a ton of growth as well. And last but not least, we really last year around this time, we're specific about when we're placing our students in the junior high when it comes to math. We used a whole bunch of data points, whether it was Linkit assessments, final grades, teacher recommendations, and being specific, we could see compared to last year, 7th grade math, the average score up 5%. The students that were meeting standards up 6%, and the students that were considered at risk down 6%. This goes up even higher for Algebra 1 high school and Algebra 1 junior high. So using this information, being intentional about how we're using it and using it to make decisions is really showing a benefit to our students. So I'm going to pass the mic back over to Ms. Frasca.
Thank you, Rich. And one of the highlights is actually hand placing students. And we do work with Little Egg Harbor in hand placing students, especially from 6th grade to 7th grade. We also hand place students from 7th grade to 8th grade. And one of the big benchmarks for career readiness is students that are ready for Algebra 1 in 8th grade. And this upcoming year in 2022, we have over 100 students who are showing readiness to take the Algebra 1 in 8th grade. So that is huge. Congratulations to the junior high math department. They are working so hard to get those kids to that point. And we usually have around 70 or 80. It's over 100. It's closer to 120 actually. So this is really great for our high school math program. Kids are coming up ready. They have the skills, they have the foundation. So we're really excited about that. And just forthcoming again, we have Summer Academy. We also have the ESY program coming up, but look for that information coming up. It's open to everyone, the Summer Academy, not the ESY, the Summer Academy. So look for that. It starts July 5th. You will start to see some flyers going out and different links that you could sign up. And again, the SAT prep for math will be available. And that's Monday through Thursday until August 11th. And we do have strategic planning coming up. So please look for that information very soon because we will want a community to be involved in our next 3 years in planning that. We will be taking a deeper dive into looking at the data to create our new goals. All right, so moving on to number 2, our new website. So we have a new website that was launched today. Sorry if it was down for a little bit. We were we had to do the little switch over today. So I want everyone to explore the website. Email me if you see anything that you want us to add. We were adding things today. A big shout out to the tech department and also Kelly Ramirez in learning how to put a whole website together. She did a great job. That first page, really quickly, 3 little tabs I want you to definitely see right up there is the district, junior high, and high school, right under school. So district, junior high, and high school. So the 2 schools have their own page now. But if you go under district and you click on district and scroll down, you will see all of these here to help videos. We have them all on that page at the bottom under news. And the big area that I want you to look at here is the Pinelands mobile app. And we're going to show a video. So if you have a phone and you're in the audience or you're at home, please download our app as you watch this video. It's a really quick video. Pinelands in your pocket.
Introducing the brand new app for Pinelands Regional School District. It's everything Pinelands in your pocket. This is the home screen. Tap the schools icon in the bottom right to select a specific school. Tap the 3 horizontal lines in the bottom left to see all the menu items. To turn on push notifications, tap Settings and select Push Notifications. The Events section shows a list of events throughout the school. You can use this button to add an event to your calendar, or tap here to share the event with friends and family. The feed is where you'll find updates from administration about what's going on throughout the school, whether that's celebrating a student's success or reminding you about an upcoming deadline. Search Pinelands Regional School District in the App Store or Play Store to explore the app for yourself. It's everything Pinelands in your pocket.
Okay, so that's that. Again, search Pinelands Regional School District. It will come right up. And last but not least, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here at Pinelands without our amazing, amazing staff. And I want to take this time to recognize our staff. We will be adding to this presentation later in June to add the retirees and also a couple other highlights. So this is an ongoing presentation, but tonight we are recognizing those teachers who have reached many milestones here at Pinelands. So we thank you all. I hope you're watching, and I will send this out to the staff tomorrow. Mr. Bond?
Thank you much. Moving on. Oops. I'm sorry. Have to change this meeting to the Gina Fasca show here. All right, moving on to the work session. Board forum. Do any of my fellow board members have anything on board forum?
I just have one thing. The delegates assembly was this weekend. That's something with New Jersey school boards, if you don't know, where board members can come up with legislation and then it can go to, it gets voted on and it can go and become legislation. So I don't have any information yet, but I'll be sending it all to you guys. So.
Thank you, Kim. Anyone else?
I know Miss Betty had something. Is she back on again?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. I do have something for new business. You know how amazing our performing arts program is? Well, the Brass Tacks Orchestra is donating their time for a performing arts scholarship fundraiser on Thursday, May 19th. And all the money raised will go for scholarships for the performing arts department. It's $10 for regular admission, $5 for students and seniors. And I wanted to mention that these professional orchestra performers donate 3 weeks of their time to put this together and to help our students perform with them. And I went last year, it was amazing. And I hope y'all can show up on Thursday.
Miss Betty, where can we get tickets for that?
Darn. I believe it's on.
At the door, yeah. Mr. Henderson's here and he said at the door.
And this Thursday?
Yes.
Okay.
And what time is that?
7 o'clock. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. So we're on new business. Anyone else have anything on new business? How about old business? Nick,
Yeah,
you want to give us a?
Yeah, I just have one quick.
Sure.
Just quick ask. I don't know, we haven't talked about it. I can't remember when it was. You hear me over there? No? Okay, well, I was asking about like, where's that policy we tabled? The board table as far as sharing emails, board information?
Different direction on that.
Yeah.
When did we go on a different direction on that? Because it was tabled and we were supposed to come up with a more inline, streamlined staff.
I think we did acceptable use with the board. Yeah. I'd have to look back at our notes. Yeah, we'll have to look back. Yeah.
I don't recall ever it coming back out. That's why I'm asking. It's been so long. It's been what, 4 months?
Yeah, we can,
I don't think you were here for that meeting,
yeah. I think
honestly, when it went
Was it
through.
then? Was it
I
one
think
of
so. I mean, I don't know who needs to check those notes and
Yeah, I think we did something with acceptable use differently, but let us check the notes.
So a
if we
policy
could-
was done
It wasn't a policy.
or a procedure? More of a procedure.
I think we kind of just said, you know what, we already had a procedure for, you have to have it acceptable use.
Okay, I just, I'm glad it was discussed or it was, by the board.
Let's look back at our notes and I'll send an update to
Okay.
the board.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Dahlia. Anything else from anyone else?
I
Nick,
have a quick
sure.
update on the dam. We had a very productive meeting that in late April, and it was very well attended. We had representatives from U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the Nature Conservancy, J.C. Neer, the Barnegat Bay Watershed. We have more board members and community members. And we discussed some additional funding options for the rehabilitation of the dam in behind the high school here. And then we're really productive. And I would say at this point that the process is moving forward. I have calls this week with the Ocean County Engineering Department and Little Lake Harbor Township. And another bit of good news that we had submitted a funding application at the beginning of the year. We asked for $770,000 in funding from the state. And we were told that we were awarded that funding. We should expect official notice from the Division of Dam Safety sometime at the end of the summer or early fall. So it's been some good progress on the bill. And I just want to thank Kim and Betty Ann and all of the very patient members of our community who have been involved in this process and asking questions and helping keeping it moving. So I'll give you more updates when they're available.
Thank you, Nick. I can't believe we're getting 700. Great job in writing the grant.
Thanks. It's a loan, not a grant, but it's a low interest loan, 20-year payment terms and 2%. So it's, yeah.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Item number 9, residence forum for agenda items only. Board policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect the reasonable time limit when commenting on agenda items. Anyone from the community would like to address the board on an agenda item only? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 10, instructional. We'll need a motion to approve items A through G.
Motion.
I have Shannon and Mr. Dalio on that. Are there any questions?
Yes. For instructional B, the grading policy. What is the actual SALT committee recommendation?
So right now, what's being approved tonight is an update to the policy that it's very broad and it will give the SALT committee the ability to write a regulation. They haven't done that yet. That's the next work in the process that's going to be done. So the SALT committee and whomever wants to can be a part of that is going to meet. They're going to take input from, and I've been at the meetings, they've had community members there, parents have been there, and they are going to develop regulations based on the feedback of surveys that are done and the work this committee's doing.
Pardon me, the way I was reading it, it looked like it basically was saying that policy is not going to be written by the board and it's more admin discretion. Was I reading that correctly?
So, and Gina, do you want to speak on this? If you want to come to the microphone, she's been leading the charge. in
So the
this.
SALT committee decided that the policy should be broad. So yes, you are voting on the policy. The regulation would then be compiled, all of the different pieces like the 55, how the grade books are calculated. That's going to be in the regulation. And that's something that the SALT committee is going to continue to work on, implement, and then also keep reassessing through an iterative process. The regulation will be the administrative way to, look at grading. But again, we're going to go back. But the policy, they wanted the policy to be broad so that we had leeway to do what the SALT committee wanted each year as we see fit for our students. So the policy's on your, it's on the
No,
agenda.
I saw the policy. I was just
Yeah.
trying to make, because it was very broad.
Yes, that
I
was,
wasn't understanding. The way I read it was basically saying that, is this still something that the board would vote on?
yes. Well, it's not mandatory to vote on a policy on grading, but we do like to keep you in the loop and obviously be transparent with what we're doing.
Because we're voting on this now.
Yes. And
So-
it's in a,
So the way I was
Yes.
reading it basically said like, that it's admin discretion.
the admin is going to work on the regulation, which is really the SALT committee is going to give us the information on how that's going to be implemented. How the policy is going to be regulated is the next step. We're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet. We've had 3 SALT meetings within the past month. So, this is something that came from the committee of parents, of staff, and it's been open to anyone. We've opened it to anyone. It's not an exclusive committee anymore. So really, it's been very, very enlightening.
So anybody who wants to join the SALT committee now can get on.
They can, yes. Yeah. I know that there's a couple board members on there. And also, I thought you were on there at one point, or your wife, I think was.
My wife-
I think she had
My wife
responded.
tried to do it and then they sent her a Zoom link. And when she went to go to the
Oh,
Zoom
really?
link, they told her no, it was an in-person
Oh, okay.
while she was at work.
So we'll definitely make sure that she gets the next one. But I believe the next one's already on the calendar. So yes, this is the policy for tonight's approval. And it's an amendment. It's the second time we're looking at it. So this would be the only time that we're approving it. And then the regulation, we will let you know what that is once that gets decided on in the SALT committee.
Can you hang out 1 second
Sure.
until I want to make sure he's done. You're done? Okay. I wanted to ask you about the math, and I'm sorry, I forgot to send, I realized it wasn't on my list today. So the math that you came up with, is this something you came up with, the new AGA, 7th grade, 8th grade? Is that a totally different program? Is that where you're going with
HMH?
that? The Hoffman Mifflin thing.
HMH was done last year. We're going to be going into the second year. That's a program.
So it's the same program?
Yes.
We're not changing it
No.
again. It's just the middle
Year
of the
two.
3 years?
Year 2.
Okay, I was confused.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
So just to clarify that grading policy question, are we voting tonight to basically give up our say in the grading system to the SALT committee,
So the regulation is going to be brought to the board once it's proposed from the SALT committee.
but not for approval?
But, and maybe Casey can correct me if she even is aware of this. From what I understand, a school district only has to have a policy in place that you have a grading system in place. Doesn't, has to specify what that exactly is.
Right.
The regulation or the internal procedure is really how you administer grading. So the policy, as it's stated, really is appropriate. It's just saying that you are going to have some format of grading.
What is our current format of grading? Nothing less than a 55?
So right now, the low, go ahead, Gina, if you want to, I don't want to misspeak. You've been doing all
I'm
this
just
today.
trying to get some
That was
clarity.
not in the
I thought
pol-
I understood it. After reading these, I was more confused than when I started.
No,
so-
that was not in the policy. Our grading system was in the policy. So it said a 90 to 100 is
Got
an
that.
A. That was in our former policy. So now it's a lot more broad. It didn't say 55. It didn't have any of that.
No, what I read just had 0 to 65 as an F and all the way up and through the A. I read that part, but we're doing away with that
So the
in the
policy
policy.
is more open-ended. The regulation is going to be extremely specific, though. So when you get that, it will answer all of your questions. And again, this is the work that's being done in the SALT committee. So this is not, the administrators are facilitating the discussions with many of the people who are very passionate about grading. So again, it's many
Ms.
people.
Braska, correct me if I'm wrong, but the previous policy didn't say 0 to 60, whatever it was an F. It said below
65,
was an F,
65,
right?
yeah.
It didn't have like a
No,
cutoff.
it did not.
And then internally, when COVID hit, it was the decision that was pushed out to teachers that.
It was a
55 would be
practice.
The lowest grade, but it wasn't like a policy was changed. It was more of like
Grading
a
practice.
grade practice.
And again, it's being reassessed by the committee with input from parents. We've been looking at the surveys from parents, surveys from students, and also surveys from the teaching staff. So we took all of that information. So it's not just the people on the committee. We're also doing an outreach and looking at all of that information as well. So everyone had a say. And then we're bringing that together. And that's where the regulation is going to be very, very clear and specific for the teaching staff in September. Okay.
Gina, September is when the board's going to see this?
Before that,
Before, it's going to happen.
but it will be for implementation.
Okay.
So we are voting to approve whatever the SALT committee brings us. Is that correct at this moment?
That's the recommendation at this point from the committee.
Any other questions?
Just a little confused as to like, why? Like, it's a very vague policy. It's just, it's not giving me an answer. We're approving that they could create a policy. Like, do we even need to do that? Like,
A
I thought,
regulation. Our policy is basically just saying that we're going to have a grading practice in place.
but don't we have something like that now?
What they did was they just took out the numbers that were in the previous one.
All right, so roll call vote. Mr. Bartlett,
I'm gonna say yes to everything except grading policy. I think, yeah. So that's a no to be yes to everything else.
that was item B, right?
Item B, I believe.
Got it. Ms. Betty,
I'm following Mr. Bartlett. Yes to everything, no to except no to item B.
thank you. Ms. Hannadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rossetti,
I'm still a little confused on that. So, that's a tough one. I'm just gonna have to follow suit. I need more information on that. So yes to everything, no to B.
okay, noted. Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
I would like to have a little more time with this. I know is it possible this could be that one item could be tabled? I'm asking.
What's the process for table? Okay.
The question is, the concern is that getting the clarity now of what's coming from the SALT committee, what we will be voting on, whether we're going to approve it or not, what that's going to look like.
So I think the guidance from Ms. Gifford was that because the vote has already begun, it can't be tabled in the middle of the vote. So if the motion doesn't pass, it would come up at a later
All right,
time.
we can always revote again at the time the SALT committee gives the advice. So I'm going to say yes now.
So you're a yes on everything.
Yes on everything.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes, except for item 11M, I will abstain.
Give me a minute here. All right, that motion carries.
Cassie, can I ask a question? So are we allowed to discuss this now anyway?
No, now that the vote's done.
No.
The discussion needs to happen.
I think we talk about the future.
We can make it an item on next month's agenda.
Yeah, we can have this all.
Listen, it's not unusual for us to vote on a regulation. It's not unusual for us to vote on a procedural vote that doesn't include all the specifics. So isn't that what we're asking? Isn't that what we're doing? Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure.
All right, moving on to item number 12, operations. We need a motion to approve items A through F.
Motion. Second.
Sorry, we're on
We do
personnel.
personnel.
We have
I'm
personnel.
sorry.
There's a lot of flipping around. It's personnel items A through EE.
I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. So,
We'll forgive you.
thank you. Thank you. And coming from you, that means a lot. Thank you. So my 11N abstention is for this and not for the last one. Did I figure that out?
Yeah, I was wondering where the letter was.
All right, I'm sorry. Moving on to item number 11, personnel. We need a motion to approve items A through EE.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
All right, this is a roll call vote. Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Hannadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rossetti? Yes. Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes, I will abstain on 11M. Got it right that time.
Motion carries.
Now moving on to item number 12, operations. We need a motion to approve items A through F.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Roll call, Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Hannadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rossetti? Yes. Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
That motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 13, report of the board secretary, business administrator. We need a motion to approve items A through L.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Hannadel,
Yes, except I didn't get through A. So
Ms. Martin,
yes.
Mr. Rossetti? Yes. Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes, I will abstain from item H, 2, A, and B.
Your abstentions noted. Thank you. That motion carries.
Moving on to item number 14, informational items. These need to be discussed, the curriculum quote or the
No, just
attachments.
for the board's information, we added this to the agenda so that you can see when we have multi-year agreements with some vendors, that you could see the renewal of that in its second or third year of a term. The board's already approved the multi-year contract, so that the entire agreement's not up for approval, but we want you to know where we're at in the term period for some of these agreements.
But it
That's
makes
why
me wonder, do you pay it quarter, do you pay it?
We
by
pay it,
thirds?
there, if it's a 3-year deal, we pay the total amount over a 3-year period.
Okay.
All right, moving on to item 15, residence forum, general topics only, general topics, period. Board policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect the reasonable time limit when commenting on any topic. Anyone from the audience like to address the board on a general topic? Seeing none, we'll move on to our board forum. I'll start to my right with Ms. Martin.
I would just like to say how awesome the concert and art expo was last week. It was amazing. The talent, just unbelievable. And the music, I really had a great time looking at everything. And all the students should be so proud of their work. And to the teachers, the staff behind it, wow. And I'm also looking forward to Mr. Senderman's presentation on the sports update.
I sent it out.
Because I mean, it's just, I just love everything about the sports. They're just great, really good, really good. And the student participation in the crowds is just great.
Ms. Zimmerman?
Yeah, just one thing, speaking on behalf of the Pinelands Junior Wildcats, a thank you to Mr. Setterman, all of the custodial staff from the weekend and the board for allowing our cheer program to use the gym this weekend for their clinic. It was wonderful. The girls had a great time. There are tons of pictures all over Facebook for it, so thank you all.
Okay. Mr. Bartlett?
Nothing for me tonight.
All right. Mr. Rossetti?
What Ms. Martin said, the art expo, I was there, the music was excellent, we had a great time. It was just wonderful to hear all the music and see all the displays and everything. The students did a great job with that. Thank you for the presentations. Thank you for, the teachers for increasing our students' test scores and student achievement. It's always nice to see, in the news and board presentations, how well our schools do. It's just really good to see. Summer Academy looks like a wonderful thing. The website looks great. Can't wait to download the app and try that. I just want to say thank you, Betty Ann, for thanking me for asking questions earlier. That actually made me really feel good just to ask questions for a board meeting. I'm just glad to know that someone appreciates that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Hannadel?
That's great. Yes, thank you. Thank you to all the staff and the long-term staff, the yearly winners. I think that's amazing. What was I going to say? That wasn't where I was starting. I wanted to thank Gayton and Mop Top for their amazing, generous contribution to the school. And I am speed watching that show right now. It's so good. What else? I don't know. I think you guys do an amazing job. I think you all are amazing, and I'm so thankful. And it's really looking good here. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Betty, are you still with us?
I've been here all along. It's just I died at one point, but I do want to say I really enjoyed the presentation of the teachers with the longevity and the professionals of the year. I think that I've seen some of them in my children's lives. I think Pinelands is doing a really good job on a lot of things. The Arts Expo was amazing, and I did want to say the junior prom pictures. The junior prom, they were beautiful. So I'm in the unique position of being able to see several districts doing their jobs. And I think Pinelands is not only holding its own, but shining in many ways. So that's what I have for this time.
Thank you. Mr. Dowd?
Yeah, I just have one thing really. It's like I happened to go and watch a little bit of my son's or the junior prom that was held this week, and it was really nice to see. You really, all the kids were like fully engaged, and the way we do it, and the way the all the administrators and the other chaperones that are there. So I was just taking photos because it's it's really nice to see these kids really enjoying themselves, getting an opportunity even with COVID. So I thought that was amazing. Ms. Frasca, thank you for your presentation. Thank you to all the presenters tonight. And that's really all I have. I'll see everyone next month.
Thank you. I'll be brief too, because it looks like it's maybe starting to get dark out there. We might have dodged a bullet with the weather. I just want to give a little reminder out to what Miss Betty had to say about the performance arts program on May 19th, or is that the May 19th? I need eyeballs to say. And especially since it supports the scholarship fund, that night is coming up, and our students always appreciate every little bit of help they get. 7 o'clock, so make sure you come out for that if you can. Pinelands always does a really good job on these types of things, and it's fun to be able to experience the performing arts in your own backyard. Make sure to check out the new website, Pinelands in Your Pocket. That's a really cool new addition, and I'm sure when I get home, I'll have one of my grandchildren help me download it because I won't be able to do it. Here, Nan, I'll do it for you. With that, have a nice night. Thanks for coming out, and motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Any abstentions? There's actually not allowed to be abstentions. That motion carries. The next.
You too.